Hi guys, and welcome to Airability, your regular dose of lead therapy. And today I'm joined by the latest scope in the T50 series from Falcon Optical Systems. Last year we had the T50i, and now we've been given the T50i Plus with some real notable improvements. But before I get into the scope, why don't we take a closer look? Hi guys, so we're joined by the T50i Plus, the latest version of the T50. And remember, we had the T50i last year, which is a great scope, but there are some notable improvements on this. And first of all, just taking you through, in the box, we get a really good sunshade. We get a tool for adjusting the turret caps, and we get a cleaning cloth. So everything you need, apart from the mount, is in the box. Now let's start talking about the scope and the improvements. Well, the improvements start right at the front. One of my pet gripes about scopes is you pay, hundreds, thousands of pounds for scopes, and you get relatively cheap plastic scope caps in with the scopes. Now Falcon are bucking the trend with this scope, and I hope they do it with other scopes in their range. They've introduced aluminium folding magnetic scope caps. These are really high quality. They you can fold them flat against the side or the top of the scope. They are indexing. You can move them around to where you want. You could even use these as a bit of a sunshade if you position it at the right place. Now the good thing about this is you're not going to lose them. They're always there. They don't open or spring open when you don't want them. They're not floppy in any way. They absolutely stay where you want them. And they're going about Apple and companies like that about the experience of the unboxing being the beginning of your journey with the product. Well, I must admit, as soon as I opened the box and I saw the magnetic scope caps, they pretty much had me at that point. So I'm a great fan of these, and again I'll say it, I hope there's more use made of them throughout the range. Now moving back from the scope caps, we have the 60mm objective lens, and it's ED glass, this scope, and the total outer diameter of the bell is 68.5mm, and you've got to take that into account when you're buying scope rings. I've got medium tier 1 34mm scope rings on here because I've got a bit of a drop off from the block, but I would probably advise high scope rings when you're using this scope. Now we move down from the ED glass 60mm objective lens through the bell to a 34mm tube, and that's just the same as the previous model. It is coated in, described as matte black, but it does have a bit of a satin sheen to it. The finish on this scope is very robust. I've had the T50i a year. It's been on and off different rifles. It's been on and off different mounts. It's been moved around for various reviews on different guns and things, and it is stood up extremely well to the punishment. So I would say that the coatings on these scopes are, fit for purpose and do their job. So we'll move down the 34mm tube and into the turret housing. And this is where an awful lot of the magic happens with the new version of the scope. And so first of all, we have the vertical adjustment turret, and gone are the push and pull lock turret as on the T50i. This is a zero lock turret, and there's no cap on it. It's very robust, and you can hear those clicks, and you can reset it to zero using the tool in the box. So that I personally think that is a great improvement. I don't like locking caps. I prefer this sort of cap, so I'm very happy with that. Now, on the horizontal side, we have the cap. It's very like other scopes in the Falcon range, where it has a cap on it and really good clicks, as with the vertical adjustment. And you just put the cap on when you're finished to make sure it doesn't move or to keep the dust out. Now, there's another improvement with these turrets. You get 80 MOA of adjustment, both horizontally and vertically, and that is 10 more than the previous iteration of this scope. Moving across to the left hand side of the scope, you have the parallax adjustment. It is very snappy. It is equally, if not better, as good as the T50i. So for all you field target shooters out there, I wouldn't worry. It's gonna do the job. I know I'm not a field target shooter, but you know, hopefully there'll be some field target reviews of this scope on YouTube soon. And then moving further out from there is the illuminated reticle. Very similar to what it was before. It's only the center dot of the reticle is illuminated, and there is an off in between each level of illumination, which makes it better and easier for you to click back on your chosen level of illumination if you haven't been using the light. Now, we move back down. So, I forgot one thing. Evidently, in between the front and the back of the scope, to improve optical clarity, there are 2 extra lenses. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know where they are and what they do, but I can honestly say that they do improve the clarity, and I'm going to talk about that in a little while. So we'll move back down the 34mm tube here, and we have the included throw lever, which I like. When you are buying a scope, I don't like, you know, if you can get away without having third-party ones and other gizmos, I prefer the ones that actually screw in and look the part, and they really do on this scope. This throw lever is included, so there you go. And the magnification here that you can control is all the way from 5 to 50 times magnification, which is great for a bench rest shooter. We pretty much turn it all the way up to 50 and go for it, and it's very, very clear at 50. It's usable all the way through the range. Now, what I also need to say is, I forgot to say, the parallax. It's from 10 meters to infinity, so there's a good range there for the air rifle shooter. Now, we have a slightly improved design of the eyepiece visually than on the T50i, and then moving right to the back, we have another one of these magnetic scope caps, which I absolutely love. And as you can see here, they're completely indexable to where you want. So for me, when shooting indoors, you can actually move this over to about here and use it as a blind for your non-scope eye, if you're one of the type of shooters who likes to use a blind. So I found that really interesting. I kind of did it by accident, and I thought, well, it saves adding something else to your gun, doesn't it? But again, these are high quality aluminium and magnetic, and I just absolutely love them. And I'm on the understanding, having spoken to Falcon, that these scope caps are going to be available at some point separately. So you're going to be able to buy them for pre-existing Falcon scopes. So there you go. Now, what I need to say is clarity-wise. So I've been shooting with this for about a week. I couldn't let this scope go without giving it one last chance and give it a go on my match rifle. It sits up there on top beautifully. I really enjoyed using it. It was as good as any other scope I have ever used on my match rifle. Just wanted to show you the reticle in relation to a 25 meter bench rest target. Yes, this is the old T50i, but it's the same reticle on the T50i Plus. Now, you know, as ever, I had the scope out in the garden, and as you can see here, it works really well. It's delivering results comparable to any other scope that I've had on the rifle, and I've really enjoyed my time with it, and I know I keep saying that. And I was really impressed with the optical quality for the money for the T50i, but the T50i Plus, I think it kind of removes the for the money tag, and I'm just really impressed with the optical quality. I feel as though it's wider, the image is more immersive, like you step forward into the image, and I really liked it, and I could tell there was a slight difference straight from the off when I put this scope on the rifle, to the point of where I was so interested in what the difference was. I had a gun with the T50i on, and a gun with, and this gun here with the T50i Plus on, and I was swapping between the two to see exactly what the difference was. So I concluded, you're not going to score any more points with a T50i Plus, but it is a better visual experience and slightly more crisp, and like I said, you feel part of the image a little more. So I really enjoyed my time with this scope, and there is only really one consideration to be made when putting this scope on a bench rest rifle, and obviously that is weight. The last scope, I think the T50i weighed 930 grams. This is even heavier because of the extra lenses, etc. And this is coming in at 1100 grams. So if you're putting this on a bench rest rifle, you are going to have to make sure that it can accommodate it. But what I will say is there are already 2 irregulars, including myself, using the T50i or other Falcon scopes on the tour, and they're managing to accommodate the weight with slight adjustments to their rigs. Now, what's happening to this scope next? Well, this scope this week is getting sent down to my mate Tom Jacobs. And who is Tom Jacobs? He's a Benchrest UK tour regular and friend. He's also the unlimited class air rifle British record holder. So that's the competition we hold where you're allowed unlimited power in your air rifle. And at the last event he broke the British record, and he's going to put this scope on his rig and see how it performs. Until next time, guys, remember, get out there, live that airgun dream, and if you can live it in HD, why not? Take care then. Bye bye.